Building a miter station that doesn't completely suck and that I don't absolutely hate and has real storage and real dust collection has been on my mind forever. It hasn't been on my mind enough for me to actually do anything about it. The problem is that I am lazy and I hate building drawers. But I found this genius reel from Everyday Builds, which kind of solves that problem. So I found some really cheap filing cabinets on Facebook Marketplace and designed my own version, a little single unit rolling miter station around them. The problem is every filing cabinet being practically given away by offices moving or going out of business is this bizarre shade of 70s blech. And I could not have that in my nice, pretty little feminine shop. So I decided to actually repaint them the right way by sanding, priming, the whole shebang. And once I had wet sand all that original powder coating down to 220, I hit it with primer. And fun fact, this is actually my first time priming anything, but I figure that these drawers are gonna take a good amount of abuse, so I should actually bother to do things right. So I just read the side of the primer can and went from there.
All right, so these should be dry enough to wet sand. Oh yeah. Fills up. I've never actually primed anything before. I usually am more cowboy about stuff. So I'm gonna quick wet sand, and then I think I can just paint them.
It's crazy how ubiquitous of a motif sanding is in my life. I can't run away. I'm just trying to repaint something.
All right, so the primer says to wait 30 minutes before we paint it, so maybe I'll wait 20.
So somewhere between 20 and 30 minutes, I started prepping for painting.
I think I should just stand these up, and then I can like pull the drawer out.
And because I hate making things easy for myself, my vision for these drawers is to paint them in a gradient. So the top drawer will be white, the middle drawer will be like a medium purple, and the bottom drawer will be a dark purple. So it'll look kind of like a paint chip, which is a motif I've done a lot in my shop. And I just think it looks really, really cool. But it makes painting it a pain in the butt.
I'm the queen of like, oh, let me just spray paint this real quick. And I never think about how long it takes to freaking paint anything. Painting is the worst.
You know what's crazy? It's been over a month since I did this because it takes me forever to edit videos, and the tip of my finger is still a little bit numb from doing this. I don't know how graffiti artists do it.
Nice. This is quite the side plank. Okay, and this, my friends, is how you turn $100 worth of filing cabinets into probably $0 worth of filing cabinets, but I like them, and that's what matters. Okay, I have all my wood. So it is time to start assembling these cabinets. I had most of my cutlass cut at the lumber yard because they do it for free and they do a good job. And my shop is in shambles and it was just a whole lot easier, and I don't have a truck, so it's easier to transport. So yeah, I'm gonna start putting these together. Hopefully it'll go pretty quick. I'm just gonna use pocket holes. But also, I don't know where any of my tools are. Everything is a mess. It doesn't look like a mess because everything's like not on the surfaces, but like none of my things are where they should be. So that's probably gonna be the most annoying part of this whole process.
Anyways, I drilled a bunch of pocket holes to assemble this frame. It's basically 2 boxes. Each box holds 2 filing cabinets, and then it will be on a floor, and then that floor will be on wheels. I am not going to post plans or really make this video super instructional because it's really gonna depend on like what filing cabinets you find on Craigslist or Marketplace or wherever you search for your cheap/free items. But you can get the general gist from watching me put this together. Also, this right angle clamp that you see me fiddling with here is the Rockler Clamp It corner clamping jig. And I admittedly am sponsored by Rockler, so they send me a lot of really cool stuff, of which I am incredibly grateful. But I will say it was surprisingly useful when you don't have a friend. And I feel like the older we get, the harder it is to have friends that will like hold your wood for you. And these narrower pieces are horizontal braces that will hold the top square without having to be a full sheet of plywood. And then the countertop for the miter station will sit on top of that. And then it was just copy paste to produce another kind of hollow box. I cut vertical segments to go in between the filing cabinets and added pocket holes for ease of screwing them in. Honestly, I think they're mostly aesthetic. I just wanted like a sheet of plywood in between them. But before I screwed them in, I decided to edge band them because I want to edge band the whole thing, but this one will be a lot harder to edge band once it's already in. So, you know, planning in advance. It doesn't always happen, but when it does, oh man. And then my friend who was staying with me got home and got to experience the ultimate Hotel Foxlin experience, which is that if you want to hang out with me while you're staying at my house, you absolutely can. You're just gonna end up staring at me while I work in my workshop. And also very, very likely, I will hand you a sander at some point and put you to work. We sanded down the edges of the edge banding together, and I gotta say, I always get annoyed because edge banding is kind of a pain in the butt, and then it's always worth it. It just looks so much better than like raw plywood edges. Okay, so instead of framing out the back here, I have this like scrap of plywood from cutting the sides, one of the sides of the plywood. So I'm just gonna actually make it a whole big long back. And since this project is already pocket screw heaven, I just lean into it.
We got all our preloaded screws. Makes dropping them in the future less likely.
And then I just lined up that back board and screwed it in. And I'll put another one on top of this board. I was really torn about closing off the back like this, but decided that structurally it would be a lot sturdier and less likely to sag in the middle with the weight of the miter saw if I did it. When people ask me what I do, I can never choose just one thing to describe myself. I'm a YouTube creator, obviously, but I'm an engineer too. I'm also an entrepreneur and a pilot and a violinist and a mental health advocate. Our goals and interests naturally grow over time, but oftentimes it doesn't feel like we have the flexibility to pursue further education. That's where today's sponsor, National University, comes in. National University is an accredited nonprofit university that understands that starting or returning to higher education doesn't make you just a student. You're a student and a creative, a student and a caretaker, a student and an employee. You're a student and so much more. National University embraces the ands that comprise us by offering programs designed for people juggling multiple responsibilities. They aim to make pursuing education achievable for everyone with flexible 4- and 8-week online courses for over 150 degree programs, credentials, and certificates. If you're ready to join the over 245,000 others who've added student to their list of ands, be sure to click the link in my description and learn more about National University's scholarship opportunities. Thank you to National University for sponsoring this video. Don't worry, my next project is in fact building an outfeed table in this like shop redo. And thanks to a lot of the comments on my last video, I actually found a folding one and I made that. But it's not a video, it's just a kit. And if I have learned anything as a tiny person with a very large shop, it's that everything needs to be on wheels, especially because everything I build is different, and so I frequently need to rearrange my shop per project. And so for these, I put on leveling casters, which are like caster wheels, except that they have a little ratchet feet that go down so that you can have it fully off of its wheels. Oh. And then I threw on a coat of wipe on poly so that it will withstand all of the times that I kick it out of frustration because my project isn't working. Actually, I put on like 3 coats, but I'm not gonna make you watch all of them.
No one needs to watch me paint this with another coat of poly. Just like, imagine that I did it. I think I'm at the point I can slap some tops on these. The tops have 2 coats of poly. I'll probably sand them once they're attached and throw one more on. But I might do that after I put the trim on because I assume the trim will want some amount of finish. Although I just picked through my scrap pile and have a pretty perfect sized piece of African mahogany that I think will really class this thing up.
And with the side tops on, I just needed to cut cross braces to hold the middle piece on, and those will be 2x4s that are pocket holed in.
I have never used my crosscut sled this much, except that my miter saw is like out of commission right now, so. Always more pocket holes. have great news.
Let's go!
Look who it is! I needed muscles. I needed to put these in there, and I can't do it by myself. And then Allie was like, want to get dinner? And I was like, let's meet at my place, because...
Wait a minute.
Muscle, wait, why are you wearing a shirt?
Did someone say muscles?
Allie Spagnola wearing... Yeah!
Oh,
let's go!
Great, thanks.
Yeah! Oh, beautiful.
Thank you.
God
Thank you.
damn.
What do we move?
How do you... Guys, Allie... If you don't know her, has a maker channel, but I think more appropriately in this context has a fitness
Also
channel
a fitness
too.
channel, and I would be personally offended if you didn't ask me to help move things.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Allie just said she's disappointed that my big heavy things aren't big and heavy enough.
It's fine. It's good. Maybe I'll just use one hand.
Oh. Allie is just doing this by herself. You're
Together?
well, I thought it would be a 2-person task,
Oh.
but clearly.
I get good at one-person tasks because I'm not a people person, despite my internet presence.
I'm a people person here.
It's a little tight. Yeah, but like perfectly done.
Huh?
I think you should stand on that side and just shove at me.
See? This is like a mild challenge, right?
Oh yeah, which I am enjoying. And sweating. Why did I put my shirt back on? Yes.
Oh!
Ooh, it's so satisfying when it goes in.
That's what...
Do not. Wow, you made this so perfectly.
Thank you.
Oh, that's pretty.
Is it perfect?
Yeah.
Oh, it's perfect!
You're very good at this.
Thank you.
But I do need you to push against
will.
me again.
I'm there. I'm here for you.
So it turns out that maybe I should have left a little bit more tolerance on these boxes, because the filing cabinets after that first one did not go super smoothly. In fact, it took us an hour and a half to do all of this.
The odds of me being stronger than you are...
I mean, it's not, at this point it might be just not a strength thing. Oh, you're pulling it out? It's a placement thing. Get out now, you're scaring me.
Huh?
Get out now, you're scaring me. I feel like,
Why am I scaring you?
I don't know, something bad's gonna happen when you're in there.
And eventually realized that it was really hard to get the filing cabinet in straight enough to get past the rear vertical brace, so we took those out, and like they're so snug anyway, it doesn't matter.
Wanna do the honors?
No, you did all the hard work here.
What are you talking about? You made the thing.
Yeah, this...
Come on, do the last shove. Yes, yes, yes. Yes!
But fucking...
Well done! I think I had gloves on, that hurt.
Woo! Yeah!
And the next morning I put the chops on place, not permanently installed, but just so that I could finally use it, because I was tired of cross-cutting everything on my table saw. And I needed to build an extension to the miter station, which is basically just a table workspace that goes over my brandy new Harvey dust collector, which you can see behind me, sort of in that clip. So I actually just built it out of scraps from my old miter station, but I wanted to cut everything down so that it would be as short as possible, because a lot of the workbenches I've had in the past I got off like Facebook Marketplace or from someone who was moving, and they were mostly men and they were mostly taller than me. And so I was just bringing everything down, maybe an inch or two. This is about as simple of a 2x4 workbench frame as they come. The only maybe 2 modifications I made is that there's these 2 horizontal cross braces on the top, but then there's only 1 on the bottom so that I can slide around the Harvey, and then the tabletop will extend 4 inches so there's a clamping surface, but that's it.
I'm clear on this side.
And now we are entering the scope creep part of the project, which is mahogany trim on the miter station. I feel like I always do this to myself, where I tell myself I'm gonna just do it quick and dirty, and then I get started and I'm enjoying the process and I'm like, well, I could just make it a little bit better. I can just make it a little bit better. Oh look, I found this beautiful piece of African mahogany scrap that, like, what else am I gonna do with it? I may as well use it. So to trim this, because it's kind of in a weird shape, I actually like rounded over the edges before I ripped it down on each piece. So you can kind of see me going back and forth between the vise and the router, where I'll round over the edge and then take it to the table saw and just cut that strip off, and then bring it back to the router, round off the edge, and then cut the strip off. And with all those strips sanded and ready to go, I just ran a bead of Titebond down them, and then glued them to the edges covering that plywood and nailed them down. Now, admittedly, for some reason, I thought this whole process would take me like 30 minutes tops, and it took me 2 hours. But I will say, I think it's so worth it. It looks so nice. The mahogany and the purple look so good together. It's just like, this is a piece that I stare at every day when I'm in the shop. It may as well look nice. So anyway, when I finished that up, I flush cut the ends down with a flush cut saw, sanded them, and then hit everything with a couple coats of wipe-on poly. And there's always something magical about every dark wood and the moment finish hits it. Ugh, peak. And with that done, I could put my beloved miter saw in her final resting place. I did it! And it's done! And I am so stoked with how it came out. I love this color combo. I love the like purple gradient. I've painted it a couple times before, but it looks so good with the mahogany. And cause like browns and purples always bring out the best in each other. And it occurred to me recently that I spend like as much time in my shop as my house, so why should I not be surrounded by pretty things in my shop too? I'm so excited. I think it came out great. It wasn't quite as lazy as I think that I initially set out to make it, but the thing about it, what's the quote? We don't do things because they're easy, but because we thought they would be easy. Lazy Girl's Miter Station.